been all over the world, you know. I done took the finest wine, I done seen the finest times, but all the pretty girls come from VA. Then it's New York and MIA, then it's PG and run my way, so I'm never had to stay away. Hold on, say you gon' wait.
Alright guys, so I took a 2-week hiatus. I had a lot of things that went on. I broke my iPhone somehow. I broke my AirPods while breaking my iPhone. It literally bent. This is what my phone looks like. It's literally bent.
Oh, it's doing that. Yeah, that was the most annoying thing ever.
And I had a storm 2 weeks ago, so I couldn't get footage of this picnic that I was going to do. But what really was tragic was the iPhone. You guys saw the video. There's nothing more I could do. Next time, I learned not to put my phone next to me when I'm working out and I'm doing a heavy workout too. I threw a weight down and I realized that my phone was there too late. My brain turned off. Threw the weight to the side and slipped down on the bench, and the rest is history. But today we are going to be doing a video with the Pops. You guys have been asking a lot about him and his knowledge, so we're gonna not put you into too much sauce, just a little bit, just a little dot. And so today is my dad with special operations. Here's a few tips, tricks, and advice he gathered while being in special operations. How long were you in it for?
Total time, I think a little more than a decade.
More than a decade. What's the time span? 2006 to...
No, I had did some special operations stuff before that. Starting around like 2002. So, yeah.
Till 2014.
Yeah,
I
2014.
believe. Do with that with what you want with that information. Yeah, so what have you picked up? What have you learned? Not just military, just like life, like principles.
Yeah, I think in the special operation community, you get exposed to a lot of different things and a lot of different people. You're given opportunities that sometimes some of the other branches are not necessarily given. And I try to make good use of those opportunities. I can't say I made good use of all of them, but I tried my best when it was given to me. Is try to learn as much as I could from it. Maximize as much as I could.
So what does that mean? What did you maximize? How did you maximize it? But you wanna first tell us your little background on life, how you came, like little quick background. Did you come from a very rich family? Did you come from high morals, low morals?
Yeah, we were rich. I came from I define a lot of myself as by community, and I say I came from a rich community. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. It's where the river meets the ocean, and there are. It's a tough city. It's also a beautiful city, and you get everything with it. You get the ugly and the beauty, but down to the family. I learned great things from both sides of the family. My dad's side was predominantly military. So my granddad retired from the Army. My dad retired from the Army. I had an uncle on that side who was also Air Force, and then a few other individuals on that side that were Army or Air Force. But then on my mom's side, right, there wasn't a long legacy like that, but there were military members. I had another uncle on that side who was Army as well, who retired. And so I probably followed closely his track more than anything. He was in special operations as well. And then after he left special operations, he went towards the IC, the Intel community. And I did, I kind of followed that path as well at the special operations. So, I mean,
It's been there.
Yeah,
The foundation.
yeah, the foundation's been sitting there for a long time, and you know, and they started out right. My path to special operations was definitely set years in advance. You know, my dad, you know, he was in the Iraq War, you know, along with my uncle.
Which Iraq War?
The first, yeah, the '90s Iraq War, and I remember like my dad sending me Iraqi dinar way back then, sending me the labels off the water bottles, and they were written in there in Arabic, and I was just like, what is this? And then like my uncle sending me stuff home from like Korea, and I'm like, wow, this is some incredible stuff. Like, what is this right here? And so I was always enchanted about foreign lands, and I got to learn about them at a very young age. And so wanting to travel and like see not just go there as a fighting force, but to be close to the people, so I can, you know, understand the culture down to that level. That definitely was set in motion by my family on both sides.
So you were hard-headed in the beginning, before you joined special operations. What molded you? What do you think? Things that you learned molded you into a better person once you joined special operations. What principles, I'd say?
Man, I was a good person before I went to special operations, but I had a lot of energy, and it just needed to be directed in the right way. And one of my early supervisors recognized that within me. Right, he understood that I had a lot of passion, that I was definitely opinionated, and that when I wanted to do something, that is what I wanted to do. And he advised me to go towards a certain path, but I got ultra lucky, because it wasn't as deliberate in the beginning. It was just that we had wars. They kicked out right after 9/11, and I was in a specialized unit inside of the Air Force that is designed to rapidly build air bases. So from the airfield and all the communications and some logistical components that make up an Air Force base. So before you get these big, beautiful bases, we have this tactical setup. And so I was in a unit that was designed to rapidly deploy and set that type of equipment up so we can start bringing in more and more forces. I did that. I trained on that, but I never really got to deploy and do that job. And it was a specialized communication vehicle that I learned. I learned while I was down in Georgia. I did go into deployment while I was there, but the base was already set up, so I went out to Saudi Arabia. Then we PCS Whiteman Air Force Base. A few months later, I got orders again, and it said, hey, you're going to a no-name location. And it was, back in the day, used to say data mask on your orders. And I was like, okay. And I showed it to everybody, like, where am I going? And they're like, dude, we've never seen orders like this. And I'm like, I didn't feel pretty good about that at all. I was like, what is this? Like, I'm about to die. Like, what do you mean? Like, where am I going? And so I was nervous. There's no lie. And no one could tell me anything. They didn't know what to pack. So I packed so much stuff. I had winter and summer stuff inside of my deployment package because we had no idea where I was going, right? And so we got there, and I was attached to a special operations unit. And I was like, okay. And they was like, well, you already trained in this special operations stuff. And I was like, whoa. No, I'm not. And they're like, yes, you are. So I did that air type of work in Country X. And then we got pulled out of Country X. This was 2002 when I went. It's now 2003 and I'm waiting to come home. They told me, yes, you're going to go home. We're pulling you guys out of Country X. Right? And I said, all right, sweet. So we pack up, and then I got this specialized vehicle that can control air, that can help establish airfield pretty quickly. Then the plane keeps going. We're thinking it's going to go to the location where we can go home from. Nope, C-130 kept going, and we land in Qatar. And I was like, oh, okay, we're going to fly home for Qatar. And they're like, no, you clean your vehicle and everything. And I'm like, why we got to do all that? We can clean this when we get to where we're going. And then they're like, no, all right, well, you guys are going home. Don't worry. We're going to take off from Kuwait. And I was like, I know my geography pretty good. Kuwait's right next to Iraq. What are we doing for real? And they're like, no. You already been into Country X. You guys are going home. It was a lie. We flew to Kuwait, and then I was part of the initial evasion force that went into Iraq the second time. And I was like, they tricked me.
Welcome to the military.
Yeah, welcome to the military. And then so when I got there, they take me over to my team. And my team is a bunch of special operation dudes. And I was like, who are you? What is this right here? But the commander of that unit was like, oh, this guy's awesome. We love having him. He's good. He picks up on stuff pretty quickly. And that, along with some other trips, my name had made its way to certain individuals. And then I formally went into a full-time special operations unit a few years later.
Do you want to say what that unit is?
Yeah, it's called the Joint Communications Unit. It's a highly technical, highly capable communications unit within the Joint Special Operations Command.
Yeah. So, I know the backstory behind that, and you just gave a backstory behind how you first started. And I know how you entered and you took some L's in life, you took it on the chin. So, and that, for a life moment, how did that teach you to learn how to take L's and to keep going? Like on some David Goggins, I don't know what he was, a Marine or something. He was a SEAL or
SEAL.
Yeah, so I mean, people that's so impactful and so appealing to them, that mindset. Did you develop that sort of mindset too? Like, was that something that you applied to life?
Yeah, I mean, my family was tough, especially on my mom's side. So I got a lot of that I would say the military discipline, from my dad's side. There was so many of them, within the military. But from my mom's side, it was tough. So I was exposed to a lot of other things that some kids are not exposed to, but it's not untypical for people that's living where I lived in Savannah. And so we took some L's. And so what I learned to be is hyper resilient. I got myself in some trouble. And so I learned, one, the power of community, because the community kind of came around me and kind of grabbed me by the collar and set me in the right direction. But it also showed that I had the resiliency to bounce back from a bad situation. And so those things kind of came together. So that toughness, that hustle, and then having discipline where I needed to have discipline, those things really started to converge. And it wasn't all there just yet, going to special operations, but it definitely gave me the confidence to go compete against other people that said that they were also the best. So that's kind of how the convergence of me got there. But I definitely took some L's. The family took some L's. But I was taught you don't whine about it, right? That's not a defining thing. I had an uncle. I have an uncle who I can lose it and I can get it back. And so he never ever looks at himself as being down, ever. He just like, I'm a hustler, I get it back. And so he's not afraid to try stuff, right? I would say he's entrepreneurial. And so he goes out and get it. And he's definitely a big mentor in my life. Like, hey, don't sit there and whine about it. Do something about it. And so when I saw like cats in special operations, I was like, yeah, these cats, that's what I'm used to right there. There are a bunch of cats that say, we're gonna do something about it. They don't whine about it. They see where they want to go out there, they train for it, and then they go do it. And I was like, these are cats I'm gonna be around right here.
And so would you say that for people in life, just keep going, keep don't.
Yeah. And so
he's got his notes.
I do, right? Because you should have notes. But so in special operations, right? And this is something that we were kind of taught a lot, right? So a lot of people believe that, they got a myth about special operations that sometimes shouldn't be there. And they don't understand where some of the confidence that they see in the special operation forces come from. So, right, we call them 5 truths of special operations. And I'll go down on them and then you can kind of ask me to kind of expound on them. But number 1 is humans are more important than hardware. Number 2, quality is better than quantity. 3, special operation forces cannot be mass produced. Number 4, competent special operation forces cannot be created after an emergency occurs. Most special operations require non-soft support. Right. Those are the 5 truths in special operation. And everything and how we do things kind of flows from there. The different units of special operation embrace those 5 truths. They may display them a little bit, differently than the next group, but that is why they do what they're doing. They're all adhering to the five truths.
So I like that 4th one. Can you reread the 4th one?
Yeah. Competent special operation forces cannot be created after emergency occurs.
So how I'm seeing that, because we just had a previous conversation about, people always are reactive instead of proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, and so everything that's on here we found out the hard way, right? In the special operations world, a thing happens, and they show it sometimes in the movies, right? You see it like a thing happens, and they go, "We're going to assemble this group," and then this group go off and go do incredible stuff, and they become successful. Boy, that goes wrong a lot. You want to try to prepare as much as you can based on real world scenarios before you run into the situation. That is the goal. And so special operations train a lot before. You don't become a great shooter after the emergency. You become a great shooter before the emergency, so you can perform well during the emergency. and a lot of people don't put enough time into preparation. And competent just don't mean that they are training. It means that they're building relationships. It means that they're going off to school. It means that they're doing everything they can to prepare for something. They're becoming experts and things that you wouldn't believe that special operation forces are becoming experts. The person who's pulling that trigger might also be an expert in an Iraqi culture. So when they pull the trigger and hit the right thing at the right time in the right place. It's a lot of preparation that goes into it. And we want to do that well before things go bad.
So then how do you translate that to the real world?
The real world is like there's human patterns, right, that occurs. We're in one of the patterns right now. We're in a tough spot in the U.S., right? Culturally, things are shifting. We're still trying to find our footing, but there's still opportunity right now to kind of prepare. The future is, right, we call it intel. What is the intelligence on the ground telling us? The intelligence on the ground is telling us that the jobs that are currently available to high school, college students, in 10 to 15 years probably won't be there. Much shorter than that, most likely. So are you preparing for a world post those jobs? Are you preparing for a world that you believe those jobs are going to still be here? One of those paths is probably not going to have you prepared for the future. And a bit of it is like understanding AI prompts, understanding coding, understanding large language models, right? Understanding marketing with the use of AI tools, understanding research with the use of AI tools, understanding what can go wrong by using those tools incorrectly. Like really, right, understanding your new tool set that is becoming available to you, you should be spending a little bit more time in that area because intel says that's what the future is going to look like. And also learning how to do some things on your own, learning how to tie knots, learning how to use a knife properly, right? Learning how to swim, how to be out in the wilderness. Also having those skills too, because the world can easily go in that direction, right? And so it's not just being a highly technical nerd or whatever, but it's also having the ability to take care of yourself in ways that maybe wasn't as apparent, 5 years ago.
That's good knowledge. I like all 5 of them. Hey, could you read them one more time?
Yeah, sure.
One more time.
Number 1, that's my favorite. Humans are more important than hardware, right? Well-trained individuals working as a team are the most critical factor in mission success. Number 2, quality is better than quantity. A small, highly trained and proficient team is more effective than a larger, less capable force. Number 3, special operation forces cannot be mass produced. The specialized skills and training required for SOF takes years to develop. It cannot be quickly created on demand. Number 4, competent special operation forces cannot be created after emergencies occur. Effective SOF units require continuous training and preparation and cannot be effectively developed during a crisis. Number 5, most special operations require non-SOF support. SOF relies on the support of other military branches and agencies for logistics, intelligence, and other essential functions. That's also one of my favorites too. I think you could do it on your own. All those movies look great. They look great. And they show SOF in a beautiful light. And I'm biased. I like it. I love it when they show us in that beautiful light.
Little glory story.
It's beautiful, but a lot of the times, SOF, there's things that have occurred that you just don't pay attention to. And like control of the airspace. It's because the U.S. Air Force dominates the airspace where we can drop in our forces that way. It's because the Navy dominates the sea that it can, deploy a SEAL team in the way that they, can deploy them, right? We own the air, the land, and the sea, and so we can do things that others can't. It's because we got control of it, and that is Soft relies on that. That is part of the calculations that Soft uses. Now they're going to do the hard work down there on the ground, or sometimes in other environments. They still got to do the hard work, but they didn't have to take out 1,000 enemy jets beforehand and all that other stuff. No, somebody else did that hard work. The Navy is handling the sea. That hard work was taken care of, and so many Soft operators don't speak 5 languages. You got other people that do that can translate intercepts of the radio and tell them, hey, that the Soft team, hey, they know you're there and they're about to do an ambush, and so that Soft team knows not to go into a certain area because we know about it already, because we got people that are supporting Soft that have these capabilities, and so can't do it alone. You need a good logistical support system, intelligence. All of that needs to be in place to make an effective Soft operation.
And you can take the word Soft out and just have a life operation, a business, building a family, everything.
Yeah, good network, friends that can help you out.
Good
friends,
circle. Me and Mac talk about that all the time. Who you let in your circle, and who you have in your circle, more and more and more, and it's all connected.
Yeah.
Keeps you successful.
Keeps you super successful. Like
on your toes to good constructive criticism.
It's nothing like having, your brothers and sisters in arms. Those are still the homies from way back in the day. Like those are the bros and the sis out there. Like they would definitely keep you humble. So they'll tell you how great you're not right now. But they're also like, hey, I'm gonna be right here with you, so you can become great. This having friends from all over the place definitely enhances your ability to be successful.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I think we're gonna end it right there. A lot of knowledge and a lot of time for people to process that. It's an almost 30-minute video, and it's going to be on the account forever, so you guys can go back and watch. A lot of knowledge, and don't just think special operation. You can hone it to soccer, the mentality to even getting out your fashion content, things in life, whatever. It can apply to anything. These are just the ways he was able to access the information in life. Advice, I guess you would say, and applied it to being what he does now. So, do what you want with the information. Like I said, there's a lot of things you can do. You can take it for good, take it for bad, take advantage of it, exploit the information, and keep it in the back of your mind when you do stuff. You can do a lot of great things. So, thank you for joining in. I will link his information on this video and down below, so you guys can go if you have questions or whatever. He's a busy man, but reach out. I know he's more than glad to talk. Will they be able to see you possibly at BlurCon next year? Yep, you'll definitely see me at BlurCon. If you're in DC, stop in, come to a training, do some capoeira. Rejuvenate your soul. But definitely reach out to me on the socials, and if you can hit BlurCon next year, come through. Buy your tickets now. Don't be like me and get it last second and pay. Buy your tickets now. The price gouge version. Buy your tickets now. Yes. And before we end this video, brought to you by squirrelvision.com. Squirrel Vision, blue light glasses, keeps your eyes healthy when you're doing work late at night and have these blue lights shining in your eyes. I'm gonna link it down below because I know you know it betters your life. So invest in Squirrel Vision. Squirrelvision.com. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video. I won't go 2 weeks late again, I promise. So I'll see
If
you
this ain't
guys
all
soon.
love, then what it is, yo.